This man is a Malaysian-based Indonesian beatmaker, singer, songwriter, and DJ, making waves in both countries with his signature sound, blending soulful melodies with contemporary beats. His releases, including Karma Kisses, highlight his evolution or evolving artistry. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for Emir Hermono from Limkokwing University. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, it always gives me the biggest honor to introduce this man right here. I've known this man since I'm 16 years old. This man is a leading figure in Malaysia's underground electronic music scene, renowned as a singer-songwriter, producer, and DJ. His global hit, Around, has garnered over 100 million YouTube views and is still racking up the millions as we sit here and speak. He was named in Mixmag's top 50 dance tracks of all time, a WMC IDMA nominee. He also drives artist development and industry growth through his brainchild and baby, together with his partner in crime, Meredith McLean. CAA represent. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for the one, the only, Hayze Menon. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to our second discussion, and we're obviously going to be moving on in topic for this one here. The theme of the talk shall be talent development and music innovation in Southeast Asia, which our panel really knows a lot about. And I guess the first talking point we're going to be starting off with is sonic identities defining Southeast Asia's sound in a global market. And I guess the first question we'll start off with is, does Southeast Asia have its own unique sound? And maybe we'll start off.
Right.
You want to go for it, bro? All right, all yours, let's go.
I think we do have a very unique sound. And I think it gets more prominent for the last 10 years. Southeast Asia has about 700 million people, 10 countries, 11 countries, 4.1 trillion GDP. So we have about 50% that are under 30 years old. We are basically the future. We are the tastemakers. If anyone was asking what's the future for us, we are the future. Everyone that's sitting here, the creatives, the producers, the singers, we are changing, and we are the movers and shakers for the next, I'm pretty sure for the next 10, 20 years. Everyone is looking at us right now. So going back to your question, we do have a sound. We do have a very specific sound where each countries have their own identity. And together we give that a bit more a driving force for the whole for the whole block, I think. Yeah.
And I guess for Hayze, for you, I mean, obviously you've been involved. Now, for you, that could mean many aspects. When we talk about our sound, is in terms of a developing sound of, because being with CAA through music creation, discovering artists. I mean, we've trained over almost 900 people in the past 2 years, and through that course, we've found so many talented artists and original artists, for that matter. So, in your opinion, it could be from a different perspective as opposed to a DJ perspective, but more as a talent perspective. Do we have our own sound?
So I strongly think that the Southeast Asian sound is sort of like a chameleon of sorts. We are still trying to sort of find our place in the global market. And we are really good at emulating that. You know, we're still experimenting. It's still an experimenting phase for Southeast Asia to really break out, like South Korea did, right? And the K-pop market has obviously broken really largely, and it's become a global phenomenon. I mean, look, you look at K-pop concerts, we don't know what they're saying, but we're there. I listen to it. I don't know what they're saying, right? But I like it because the culture is such that it's sort of merged in, right? And the Southeast Asian sound is finding its space, right? And for me, it's been a real eye-opener with CAA, and I mean, getting to our 900, we'll probably be heading to our 1,000 capacity, amount of people that we've trained over the last 4 years. To see the talent in this country alone, right? For me, I got so intrigued. I am intrigued till today to see the diverse talent pool that we have. It's great to see. I mean, some of our great stars are here. Luna Dira, where are you?
She's there. Luna Dira's here. Been through.
Yeah.
We've got a few.
Yeah. Luna Dira has really done very well for herself in carving her sound. And I can see Elif's up there. Elif's, big up. So everyone's trying to figure themselves out and trying to get out of the norm of what the Southeast Asian sound is, because there is, I think the Southeast Asian sound is very much wanting to be the Western sound. Really, to be honest, we're chameleons like that, right? 1 minute we can sound English, 1 minute we can sound American. It depends on the audience, really, right? That's my take on it.
Right, and Elijah, obviously coming from the UK, everyone knows UK has its sound. It's a UK thing, UK garage, drum and bass and all that thing. But for you, for someone who's looking from the West, looking to the East, how do you see the East in terms of its musical identity?
I think I'm in a very weird bubble, because I guess when I'm being hosted in places, it's usually by people that are following UK music. So when I play when we played in Singapore, people play UK music because they're fans of that too, and they want to contribute and they're having a dialogue with that specific music, and I haven't had a lot of time to just go out and explore what people are doing outside of the events that I've been programming. So occasionally, the artist or the journalist that I mentioned earlier on, Derek G, put me on to some music from the region, Budots in Philippines. I went to Manila actually last year. I heard a lot of the new rap music coming out of there, which is very different to what people are doing in the UK. But I guess the reason why I ask people to jump on my set and just rap or perform is so I can get a flavor of what people would do merging with what I do, and that's what I find the easiest thing to gel with. Obviously, there's moments in time where people, hopefully, once I leave, people feel comfortable sending me shit they think is good, because I'm open to that. I'm want to learn about cultures that I visit. So once I'm out of here, send me what I need to hear. Artists that are making shit, especially like I said earlier on about people that want to remix the album. I'm pro that. And something that would never be made outside of Malaysia, send it to me. I'm super
listen, brother, I'll tell you what, CAA, we've got what we call a collab camp, right? And within our collab camp, we got about, it depends on the size of the intake. Sometimes we've got 25 artists coming in, sometimes we've got 50. And on each day, we have a separate genre with a production task of okay, for today we're making, for instance, hip hop. This is the information, this is what we're looking for, now go create. We'd love to hook up with you and maybe get some of your stems, get some remixes going, and see what we can do, see what our Malaysian artists can do. And I can tell you what, jumping on that, we've got Dahlia right here. This man is an amazing music producer. We've got Ice Sky over there. Just came back from Texas, from performing at South by Southwest. My man right over there. We've got Jimmy, aka Ready Rocket, who's right here. We've got Luna Dira, by the way, who is an amazing artist, indie artist, also performed South by Southwest. Awesome. We've got Nash, my brother over here, legendary rapper in the house, who has just moved from his record label, moving on to greener pastures. And I'll tell you what, the future is bright, because this guy, in fact, actually, brother, if you're with us tonight, come over to...
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Can this be an official introduction?
Please.
This is the man who needs, when you're performing later on, he needs to pick up the mic and he needs to get on the mic, because this guy can spit bars. Okay, I'll tell you what.
Please.
Are you up for that, bro? Yeah?
Okay.
All right, so
Thank
we've got so many music producers here in the house. And of course, we've got Airlifts. We've got Andrew Cavell up there, who's a legendary producer, keyboardist. So many musical people here.
This is the thing that I was trying to say earlier on. It's like, I'm not here like to like stunt on anyone. It's like me like saying, oh, okay, I want to go back to back with the DJs, so I'm learning too, you know? And like, so it's like an exchange, you know? I'm not like a famous DJ. I'm not like Tiesto or something where I'm just like gonna come and do the same set we do everywhere in the world or some shit like that, you know? This is not that. I want it to be real. We have some sort of memory together and it be a thing. But, and what you said about youth, and I guess like the most young people is super important because I come from a country that is aging. So it's like we're not gonna have like another youth culture with no youth. Whereas you lot here, like my family in West Africa, it's like, the combination is like you lot are the youngest parts of the world. So of course you're going to have the newest youth cultures and hottest music. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I guess one advantage that, say like Amapiano, for example, has had, is like it starts from there. It's like they're just not even calling itself house music or not calling it hip hop. It's just like we've branded ourselves Amapiano, boom. And then you can jump in. And like as each country or each scene finds its own like kind of branding, that's like a super interesting point where people can go, all right, I can Google this thing and dive in. Does that make sense?
That makes complete sense, bro. That makes complete sense. All right, let's move on to another topic. How is this integration of technology in music changing and evolving the artistry? And do you think, for instance, like the world we're living in with AI, for instance, how do you see that playing a key role? And at some point, are we going to lose some of the artistry in the process? Or what is your opinions on the integration of AI in music as both an artist and a performer?
Hayze, you want to go first? You can go first. Sifu.
Right, so I think the future of artistry is to merge AI with your artistic sort of prowess. You're not going to be able to stop the wave of AI, right? It's here, it started, it's just going to get better, it's going to get more intelligent, it's going to get more rampant. If we don't harness the power of it together, we might be left behind. I know you've heard that a lot of the time, it's cliche. But learning to not lose your identity, creating an identity with merging your strengths with AI will be the future of artistry, of artistic development, whether you like it or not. We're here, look at where it's going. There's a metric, there are 10,000 AI songs being uploaded daily on Deezer, right? There are 10,000 songs, whether you like it or not, right? Which means the people that made those songs, they're making money out of it, right? They're flooding the ecosystem with AI-driven songs. Now, I'm not saying that AI is the evil accomplice here. All I'm saying is to merge it without losing yourself would be the ultimate tool for me. It would be a superpower. So yeah.
I agree because I feel like AI, it's something that as a musician we should use it as a tool, and we should somewhat have a control of it instead of that controlling us in a way. Just like internet and all technology that comes before us, we use it as a tool for us to be better artists or to make things a bit more easier than most. Because at the end of the day, depending on how you look at music creating in general, now because of AI, probably there's 10,000 more musicians that are easily accessible to these type of creative outputs for better, right? for positive output. instead of other negative outputs. So maybe, I can't really play piano that much, but look, there's an AI tool that helps me to make some of my ideas out. And then that could create a spark for you to collaborate with your friends that might not be even interested in music at the first place. So it opens up a lot of avenues in that. And I always feel like talking about talent development, it's not about how, the key part of talent development now in 2025, I feel, is adaptability, just like what Hayze says. You know, we have to adapt all the time and all ages in every era if you want to succeed.
I mean, can I add to that if I may? Look, 20 years ago, or maybe 30 years ago when I was making music, yes, I am that old, in order to cut and paste something, we'd have to cut the tape. Now you just Apple C and Apple V it, right? You take a section and it's just done in a microsecond. We used to take 3 minutes or 4 minutes to need to do that. You firstly need to find the marker on the tape, the in marker and the end marker, splice it properly, it's called splicing, and then you glue it together. And it was some sort of mastery that you needed to sort of get to do that. Like, producers were not really doing that, it was the audio engineers that were doing that, right? And today, it's you can make music in a box. You don't need to be in $1 million studio anymore to create content, to create music. So before, like maybe 30 years ago, 20 years ago, to make a decent recording of something, you'd need to be in a decent studio. It will cost you a lot of money. It still would cost you about $200 back in the day, an hour, to be in a proper studio. Today, you can make it with headphones, sitting in your toilet with your laptop open, right? So the artistry really is about, it's just different phases of technology. Today we're in AI, right? Before that, we were, the DAWs were just coming into play, and they are what they are today. And even the DAWs are using AI modules right now. They're starting to implement that in their own sort of machinery. And that's basically, it's getting up to speed with progress. That's what it is, really.
Would you like to elaborate on that topic too, Elijah?
Yeah, like no matter how much content gets produced, if it's like we're in an infinite content era, 10,000 songs being uploaded, all that we can do as humans is make memories with the music. So like your song that's got like 100 million YouTube plays, there's like an embedded memory for people, like they heard it at this club, they've got an experience with it, they danced to it at their wedding. Okay, yeah, this is good. This is also good. And like, even with this, like say like an event like this, and the yellow squares or something, the memory is like not you scrolling on Instagram, it's like you coming out, having a chat, music, having a couple of drinks with friends, and then going to a party. And that's going to be the embedded memory. It's not going to be like, oh, like you listen to it in your pants at home on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? Those songs we're going to, as good as they can be, you're going to just more organically forget because it's not got memory attached to it. So when I work on artist projects or help out other people with things, I'm like, okay, what's the tangible element of this song? What's the bit that we're going to create around this to make it stay in the world a bit longer? So there's just a short thing. I can see the time on this. Okay. There's this thing called like the Lindy effect, which is a song or like something survives longer if it survives longer. And I think a lot of songs are only surviving now with like either sport or memes.
Right.
Right? So if you think of like the White Stripes or something like da, 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 most people just know that because of the sport. Or like, what's the other one? The Free From Desire. And these songs are surviving because of sport and sporting moments. And so the amount of things in culture that we can attach music and ideas to that's what's going to help things stick. Regardless of whether you use AI, regardless if it's just you and a guitar or claps and whatever it's going to be, we've got to find things that helps our ideas stick. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm pro just using what you have, developing new ideas, but we've got to find things that put the fork on the road. You know what I'm saying?
In fact, actually, what do you know? What I should have done earlier is I should have opened the floor up to questions. But first of all, I just want to ask one very important question. Now, developing artists or developing musicians and artists, you each can talk about a specific country: Indonesia, Malaysia, and of course the UK. What are some of the challenges that artists are facing now, trying to break through and come through in the music industry in, say, for instance, 2025? Starting off with Emir.
Probably making content for me. It's a very important skill to have in 2025. People would probably look, because I think visuals are 70% of what you perceive a product or in people in general. So you have to create content, whether you like it or not, even if it's for you to sell your music in a way. Right? So they need to see a content, and it needs to be engaging, it needs to be educational, it needs to be interesting, it needs to have a good hook in the beginning. So a lot of artists that I consult might not have the freedom, or might not even have, especially the ones who are like very purist in music. So I just want to do music, I don't want to do this content shit, whatever. Like, can we just, yeah, but at the end of the day, this is what the industry is expecting you to do. Now, I'm not saying that is the right way, but it's just the objective of what you want to do with your career, right? It goes back to that. Maybe I just want to make music for my parents. I don't care. Cool. But if you are talking about money, and if you talk about business, and if you talk about career development, then these are the things that you need to take consider of in 2025. I think it's that.
Interesting. Take note. And of course, Hayze, let me speak on behalf of this. As Hayze has been through this constant uphill struggle to really get our government to look at our music industry and invest in our music industry. And day in and day out, Hayze is pulling this tug of war with the government to get them support. So Hayze, how would you elaborate further on that? And what have been some of the struggles that you face in trying to help new talent break through?
No, I mean, CAA from the get-go was always in the forefront of trying to raise funding for the music industry, and we've tried really hard. We work with lobbyists, we work with politicians, we try our very best to inch our way through to sort of show that the music industry is a necessary commodity, right? Because they don't see it as such, okay? And because the creative economy, if you want to call it, is sort of it was hit hard during COVID, before COVID, but it's one of the most underfunded economies in the world today. It's very rare that you see a musician or an artist that is made that its sort of first line of income. And for us at CA is probably trying to break that mold to sort of create avenues, create platforms for it to have a sustainable sort of follow through where it could be a main source of income again, you know. That's pretty much the future of it. Like what this young gentleman said about 2025 and how the music industry is about, if you want to be an artist today, you'll have to look at being a content creator as well. And I think it's half and half, really. 50% make great music, and the other 50 you've got to sort of make great content out of it so that you can put your music out, right? I've got one more thing to add to this, and I think 2025 is the age of the superfan. It is time, right? And I'm going to advocate a little bit, if I may, about You know, your social media doesn't need to look like 1 million followers anymore.
I agree.
You don't need 1 million followers. You need 1,000. You need 1,000 super fans that are going to spend about a coffee every month with you. So if that's, say, $20 at Starbucks, if you've got 1,000 followers, super fans that will just follow you wherever you go, that's your 20 grand.
Right.
That's where it's at, right? And you start with building your first 10, and you 10x then you get to your next 100, right until you get to your 1,000. Because there's so many artists that have got, like, you know, 500,000 followers, some of them have 300,000 followers. I think, I don't know if Iqbal said it earlier, just because Armin van Buuren has 1 million followers doesn't mean he's going to sell 1 million tickets, right? So my advice to artists here today in my CA family is to focus on your flag bearers, your super fans, the ones that will just follow you wherever you go, because they love you. They will die for you. Do you know what I mean? They will buy, and be honest, when you guys make content, right, you guys wear your heart on your sleeves, right? Most of you do, right? I can see that. So you work very hard at your content making. But your content is going on those digital websites like YouTube and Insta, TikTok, right? Is it really connecting? Does it really matter? Does it really matter that you get 10,000 views? It doesn't really, because it's not translating into super fans, because your super fans are the ones that are going to pay you for it, right? That's my little take on it.
And that's very interesting, because that leads straight onto a topic of conversation which was inside your lecture. So maybe you can elaborate further on that.
Yeah, like, I think, so I guess if we're summing up 2025, it's like intent, right? From the artist side, I ask this question a lot to friends, peers, people that ask me questions of like, do you want to make music and enjoy it and create art and participate? That's one thing. And then there's like this other thing of being like a pop star effectively and selling art and product all the time. And most people, like, I've met a very, very few people that genuinely want to be a pop star, want to have the #1 song in the world, want to like do all the things that it takes to be that all the time. Like, literally, one day, it's on YouTube, this set I did with Stormzy. It's in 2014. And you can see like the energy around him at the time, the artist looking at him, like performing, like the kind of, there's a power that he had at that time, just before he kind of broke nationally. And then afterwards, we were speaking, and he said what he wanted to do. And most of the time, we speak to MCs at the time, they're just like, bruv, I just want to spit bars, make tunes, make beats, and they're good. And that's for most of us. I would include myself in that folder of people. That's like the limit of your expression. Obviously, you want to like get it to some scale so you've got some sort of audience. But genuinely, I wasn't trying to be Tiesto or Van Buuren or something, right? But Stormzy, and he was actually trying to go to the top. He's like, I want to have the #1 album on my own label, made by myself with my people, and that's what I'm going to do. I want to headline Glastonbury. I was like,
He did it though.
and he actually did it. And I was emotionally moved when I was there at Glastonbury 2019, when he did it. And you're like, that was his genuine intent. And for most of us, like, we don't have that level of intensity to commit at that, like, honestly. And it's completely cool. And what I've tried to do with this project as well, to make the Ting, is like try and detach. There's sometimes like that bigger picture. And that's not like lower ambition. That's not your music's bad. That's not your art is worth less. It's like actually what your gut intent is.
Right.
You know what I mean? And being honest with yourself about what you're willing to do. The same with my DJ friends. I say, look, man, honestly, man, do you really want to play 100 gigs a year? Do you want to fly around by yourself and spend time in hotel rooms? They're like, nah, I just like playing tunes. Exactly. And there are a few people in the the pool that really want to do that are willing to sacrifice everything for it, cool. But for the most part, and I assume for most people here, we just want to make stuff and share stuff and enjoy. And then let's embrace that and push that to the limit. And I find that most of the time is where I'm finding artists that I resonate with most. And there's another level, what I guess I'm trying to say here is like, there's a truth that you're able to tell when you actually don't need to make your whole income from art or from music. And part of like what a lot of the UK or London is trapped in is because we're at that tipping point where enough people can make an okay living from making creative work. They also toe in this line of can't say this about this, can't say this about that brand, can't say that about that person, and then the art you get is shit at the end. Whereas in places where you're a bit more free, you think, oh, maybe this isn't going anywhere, I can just tell the truth. You get more honest work, and it shines through in a different level. This is a bit like maybe a bit ranty territory. I'm not sure how helpful it is, again, but that's my belief.
So constraints reduce the output.
Yeah, like in some, not reduce the output, it's a different output. If you want to be a pop star, then you're going to formulate your work, 2 minutes, 20 seconds, make content, boom, boom, boom. Have I made something in the summer? That thing. But for most of us, I don't think that's our intent. There is this other plane of like 1,000 different possibilities that we're trying to hit. And I think that's like, at least for me, it's more interesting to follow and more interesting to engage with.
All right, and on that note, we'll end this conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a round of applause for our panel. In fact, what I'd like to do is I'd like to invite back Iqbal and Alman, if you guys are still here. Iqbal, Alman, are you all still here? Alman, if you'd like to join our panel up here. And, Iqbal's on the way. He's outside. Is he coming back in? Alman, if you'd like to come up and join up up front. We have, well, first of all, we'd like to have a group photo. So with all of our panelists, together with Elijah. And we're just waiting for Iqbal to come back. All right, he's on the way now, yeah? All right, fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, let's give a very round of applause one last time for Elijah. Coming all the ways over here. Of course, our panel, our amazing panel of key opinion leaders from the entertainment industry. And first, let's get a group photo of all of you guys up on stage with Elijah. I'll take that for you. Photographers, if you can get ready and get in position, and we'll have you all together. Let's jump you up all there. Everyone's looking good. Fantastic. All right. So there we go. 3, 2, 1. Snap away. All right, guys. Now, and on that note, I think we have a token of appreciation for all our panelists who are going to be presented to you by Elijah. So we've got some T-shirts for you guys as a little memorabilia of your time here at the Jambu. Yeah, you're most welcome, bro.
Oh, no, thank you. No.
You're supposed to give to them, bro. Yeah.
I'm an uncouth gentleman, sorry.
Thank you very much, guys. On behalf of Jambu Asia and, of course, Mixmag Asia, we thank you so much for your time and sharing your thoughts and your insights. And Elijah, is there any last words? Do you want to wrap this up? Any last things you want to say to our audience here?
Yeah, I'm super grateful. This wasn't on my things that I thought were possible that could happen. I tried to come into places and give more than I'd taken. So I hope that is clear. And afterwards, send me music, send me the things I need to read or see. I'm super interested. And then also later on, bring tunes and. People can jump on the set and we can make it super collaborative. So hopefully that's it. But thank you so much.
There we go. Pickle, ladies and gentlemen, it's all happening at Pickle. Ash, I hope you're going to be there. I hope you're going to come spit some bars. Sky, I hope you got your thumb drive with you, bro, because I know you're going to rip it up. You and Jimmy together as well. It's an open invitation from our man Elijah. It's all going to be happening at Pickle from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Jambu Asia, Kaiser, Mr. Rodrigo back to back. This is being recorded by Stovelab. And of course, 11 p.m. till midnight is the man Elijah. And he has opened the floor for anyone to jump in and just have a good old jam session with them. That's all happening at Pickle just down the road. But ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Mixmag Asia and of course Jambu Asia, we'd like to say thank you so much for being here with us to witness this first experience, the book launch for Elijah. It's been a pleasure, the lecture, but the party is only just about to begin. We want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, Lagula, Limkokwing University, the Spritzer, Stovelab, Clubland KL, Livescapes, Future Sound Asia, CAA, Excessive Records, Pioneer Malaysia, and of course Alpha Theta. And I've missed out anyone, I do apologize, but we'll give you shouts out at Pickle. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap. Let the party begin. 10 p.m. Pickle, let's go. Bra!
Don't model your career on someone who started before the internet.